Hey team, we're talking about backup offers because they are coming up a lot right now. So just want to do a quick video and talk about pros, cons to backup offers, the wording, etc. So we're going to send out this wording that's our recommended wording based on a bunch of back and forth court precedent as well as several lawyers' review. The key elements of a properly worded backup term is that it includes the dates and times and it references the other contract number. So backup offers are like dominoes. You have one accepted offer in play, and now you're accepting and negotiating another offer that's a domino behind that deal. Can you have more than one or two dominoes? Sure you can. You could have 6 backup offers all aligned in a row. You can also have, what we're dealing with a lot lately, is multiple offers on a backup offer. So there's already an offer in play, pending, and there's 5 more offers come in. So they present all 5 and are negotiating to be the backup scenario. So this offer is a backup offer to offer A or B or C, purchase contract number X, so the other contract number you're referencing, and only comes into effect if offer A or B or C conditions are not satisfied by time and date or the deal collapses prior. So that's our approved wording, and I'll send it out with this video in below so you can copy and paste it. Typically, all our standard disclosures and stuff, we get you to contact us because it's case by case. There's situations where things apply or don't apply or need modification. So we always advise you based on the situation of the deal, but backup offers are backup offers. So that's the key point there. The other thing I wanted to highlight to you guys was pros and cons. So the key element with a backup offer is depends who you represent, right? It almost always does. So if you're representing the seller, what are the pros and cons to a backup offer? So if you already have an offer in play, if it's a pretty strong offer and you're getting lots of other interest, the positive of a backup offer is it puts pressure on that first offer. You can communicate to them or not. You only have to disclose it if they ask. You don't have to disclose that you've accepted a backup offer, and that can be used in negotiations with the first offer, but it puts pressure on them. The con is you can't extend anything related to conditions. So if that first offer does a home inspection and finds some issues and they want to renegotiate price, you could choose to or not because you have this other backup offer. But if they say, we just need 2 more days for conditions because our lender's late in getting back to us, you can't extend conditions past because you already have this other domino that's automatically comes into effect as soon as that deal either collapses or doesn't remove by the condition date. So definite pros and cons for a seller. Often in a market like we're in right now where it's a bit more sellers leaning and there's a lot of demand for properties from buyers, you might not want to accept a backup offer. You might just want to deal with the offer at hand and then let it go kind of open market again or multiple again in the event that you had that. So what about when you represent the buyer? So when you represent the buyer, yeah, backup offers are great. If you missed out on that property and they have it pending, you want to give your buyer the best chance to get that home if that's what they're telling you they want. So a backup offer is the best way to do that. The one we've had happen recently is a few where they had a backup offer and there's still multiple offers happening and lots of showings happening on the property. Like there's so much demand. If you're potentially now competing with 2, 3, 6, 10 other offers, if you already negotiated a backup offer, then they have first right, basically. As soon as that first offer doesn't go through, yours is automatically triggered to be the active offer in play. So that's what gets you the best chance of getting your buyer that deal. And keep in mind, if you're in multiple offers as the initial offer and your buyers lose out, but they've accepted another offer, right away, ask that listing agent, if your buyers want to be a backup, will the sellers accept a backup offer? And renegotiate as backup right away. I've seen it lots of times where there's 4 or 5 offers, everyone gets told that they lost and the one offer's pending. Well, the other offers just end up disappearing and you could be the backup there before there's other kind of surge of interest and it might bid up the price. We had one last weekend that was a nice win for our seller where we found an out clause in the the backup offer that was in play because they hadn't delivered their deposit in time. And we were able to give a seller's notice to void the contract. And then that same buyer ended up paying 20 grand more for the property in multiples when it went back into multiples. So keep that in mind. The other big thing to think about is presentation times. So for anybody who hasn't been selling anytime after about 2008 or before, they haven't been in a market like this. Even 2014 was a decent market, but it was nothing like we're dealing with right now. So as far as demand goes. So if you're representing a seller, discuss with them about having a certain number of days on market that you're going to expose the property to the market, and then set a scheduled presentation time of offers. So it might be 3 days after, it might be a week after, but you as a listing agent need to kind of control that process. As a buyer's agent as well, I've had lots of success, and we've seen lots of people do that, where you almost assist the listing agent with controlling the process and say, when will you be presenting offers? If I have this offer to you tomorrow, will it be presented right away? Or are you holding offers to present at a later time? Ask those deeper questions, because they're supposed to, every listing agent is supposed to present the offer as soon as it's received, unless it's directed otherwise by the seller. So you need to be asking those questions and getting your offer in there. But again, when you represent the seller, you might get seller's instructions that you're going to present on X date and time, and that you're accepting offers up until that time. It's actually often how foreclosures and similar ones work. So the one other advanced strategy that I want to talk about, and was little hesitant to put it on video, to be honest, but I think it's a viable strategy, is especially in this market, and everyone should be aware of it. So when you're the listing agent and you get multiples, or you go pending with a strong offer really quick, and you kind of want to leave an out clause, right? You want that seller to have some way to get out in case that there's a whole bunch of other interest that comes in on the property at a later time. So one way to do that is give your seller a condition. So there's a lot of different conditions you could use, but the one we're suggesting in this market is to have a seller's lawyer review condition. So if you represent that seller, you add in a seller's lawyer review condition, you let the buyer's agents know that they want to have their lawyer look at the contract and whatever, have it be the same timeline as the buyer's conditions. And then ultimately, if you receive other offers or other interest, it's up to that client to discuss that with their lawyer. And if their lawyer advises them that they should not take this offer and in fact take a higher priced offer because that's in their legal best interest, they're entitled to do that. So a little kind of pro tip there on how to negotiate advantageously in this market for your sellers. As well, if you're representing a buyer and someone puts in a seller's lawyer review condition, I probably wouldn't accept it. Or I would get like a day or two condition timeline, and then give your buyer enough time for their conditions that they can still deal with that after. So so feel free to ask any questions. We're always here for you, especially to navigate lots of different scenarios that have come up lately. I helped with 5 on the weekend last weekend, and we got a separate video where we're going to talk about obviously multiple offer protocol that we've had out before that we'll link to, and also another video talking about the most common kind of holes that you'll find in contracts. And people are trying to leverage those holes right now to get out of contracts if they can. So keep your contracts tight, and use great strategies to help your clients.